when you finally get a close enough look,
I don't think people realize
it's clear
how big these barges are when you look at them on TV.
how much work lies ahead. And to be honest, Jim Nelson has never seen something quite like this in his 70-odd years along the river. On Christmas night, 15 barges loaded with coal broke away.
For that tug to have lost total control of those 15 barges.
Eventually, 9 would run up against the dam below the LNI bridge.
They got a lot of work cut out.
That's Nelson's take.
It's delicate work in that the river conditions are ever changing.
The Army Corps of Engineers has its own. Crews began a salvage operation on Tuesday. Job number 1, removing the coal.
Once they get the coal unloaded, they will begin to lift any sunken barges.
Which is
And this is what we've ended up with.
what Judy Robertson came to find out. She's been along the Ohio River bank better than 30 years.
I think they're doing the best they can do. I think they're using good safety precautions because the river does change every day.
The Army Corps of Engineers says high wind factors in as well.
If you watch how slow he moves,
Near the pool, Jim Nelson is wondering how long it will all take.
They said the wind is playing a part. The wind can slow them down.
yeah.
The project is expected to last several weeks at least. Even though the wind may drag things out further, it's making Jim Nelson and the other spectators move along quickly.
Of course, the coldest day in Louisville, and I decided to come down on the river.
In Jeffersonville, Jonathon Gregg, Spectrum News 1. Tucked away in one of those winding mountain hollers. The kind of place where fog likes to hide. And four-wheel drive comes standard.
We have a boy truck, a girl truck, a baby truck, a teen truck.
A Christmas tradition is hand-delivered.
It's not something they have to do. It's something that they want to do.
Inside this tin roof workshop,
So we've got time to rebuild that back up.
siblings Jordan Howard and April Galloway orchestrate a Christmas caravan started 44 years ago by their father.
My father started it in 1975 with one truck. It just grew each year.
Mike Howard, a former coal miner, became known as Mountain Santa.
They go to these little hollers where kids normally wouldn't have anything, and they give. And they give with their whole heart.
By 10 a.m.,
All this out here, all this that you see, every bit of that come from the Lord.
it's time to roll out.
What am I about to see when I follow you out there?
If you don't cry, there's something wrong. I'm telling you.
Every year since 1975, sirens break through the Appalachian air. As Santa trades his sleigh for the short bed of an extended cab. And that's when the kiddos come running.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Each truck is filled with presents for designated age groups. Santa and his helpers will spend the day crisscrossing Harlan County, making dozens of stops.
Merry Christmas to you. Can I have a hug?
Bringing Christmas to a part of Kentucky where, according to the U.S. Census, nearly half of all children live under the poverty line.
You all have plenty of helpers, and it's amazing what you all do. I love it. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Amazing is correct. For this reason.
The coal mines ain't doing so good, you know. Just over years, the economy here has just declined. And for us to be able to continue this, it gives kids that's less fortunate and their parents is laid off, it gives them a Christmas.
And bittersweet for this reason.
I didn't doubt it for one moment that he would.
In 2018, Mike Howard, Jordan's father, and the original Mountain Santa lost a battle with cancer. After his father passed, there really wasn't a discussion to be had. Jordan Howard would become the new Mountain Santa.
Can I have a hug?
Give him a big hug.
This is Jordan's second year wearing his father's big red suit.
It's the Lord's work. It's all from him, and I do it for him.
carrying on a legacy of giving imparted by a man who believed when it comes to spreading joy,
Merry Christmas.
there's no time like the present.
All right, can you handle this? Merry Christmas, young man. Merry Christmas.
Say thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Can you carry it?
I ain't got no choice. I have to do it. I have to. Before he died, I told him, when the Lord tells you to do it, you better do it.
In Wallens Creek, Kentucky, Jonathon Gregg, Spectrum News 1. This is a sunrise, obviously.
I started skateboarding in 1987. I asked for my first skateboard in 85.
And what you do with it is up to you.
There's a quote from Jay Adams, you didn't quit because you got old because you quit. I think I got that right. I always seem to say that backwards.
43-year-old Jeremy Vessels has a shared theory about skateboarding, and it begins at dawn.
It's made everything easier. If I go skateboarding in the beginning of the day, the rest of the day is so easy because skateboarding is super hard.
Vessels is a Kentucky native with West Coast flair. He's been around the block.
I lived in Denver, I've lived in SF, I lived in Portland, Olympia.
And bound to the board for more than 30 years.
And then in 2015, I broke that one. It peeled back all the way, top and bottom. I've had too much coffee at this point.
But it wasn't until he started taking boards apart and grinding them down and putting them back together did he realize
skateboarding sort of drew me into art and expression.
Where skateboarding was taking him next.
I glue the boards together in a huge chunk and then I chop it up.
That's just the beginning, because Vessels is able to create tables like few others can from skateboards nobody wanted.
Every one of those broken skateboards was a learning lesson for somebody to evolve in what they're doing.
Jeremy Vessels says skateboarding taught him at a young age, you've got to be resilient. You've got to ride the wave. So it's no surprise the wave made its way into Jeremy's work.
The history of skateboarding evolved from surfing. The idea that a concrete pool is basically an empty wave, it was on from there.
Vessels has created a wave design in his tables that is hard to imitate.
To be able to take the modern fixed skateboard shape and pull that wave out of there, I feel like I've really done something there.
His tables and artwork live all over the country.
Yeah.
Including his hometown skate shop in Louisville.
It's just insane of how I can, like, you know, just force all the boards kind of like into different shapes and stuff, and just how he can take the old parts and just the different plies and everything.
Vessel's work is definitely getting more attention, and he even sold a single table for more than $5,000.
I mean, I've gotten this far because I believe in myself. And if you want to be successful in life, you have to believe in yourself, manifest the reality that you want, and when it comes, be wholeheartedly thankful for it.
It's true. Anything can happen after that sun comes up.
And I feel like it's the appreciation that I'm so grateful for this.
Jeremy Vessel says, no matter what, have no fear and drop in.
The universe just keeps pulling me into the successful realm that I don't even have a say in it anymore. Here you are, you showed up. You called me.
In Louisville, Jonathon Gregg, Spectrum News 1.